Hi folks, Harry or Reader of King here. This would actually be my first proper video, so let me tell you a little bit about who I am. So I'm Harry and I'm 13. My love for Stephen King's work began in October 2018 when I watched the 2017 film adaptation of It on Halloween night. I loved the film so much that I asked for the book for Christmas. It's the book. I read the book from January 2019 to April 2019 and I absolutely loved it, and it introduced me to the rest of Stephen King's work. Since then I have read around about half of Stephen King's work and I've loved all of it. But I'm not what I'm about to talk about today. What I am here to talk about is Stephen King's newest release, which is The Institute. The Institute is a horror and thriller novel published back in September 2019. I will try to keep this spoiler free in case any of you have not read this book. It follows the story of a child named Luke Ellis who is abducted by a mysterious organisation. I feel like The Institute is similar to It in the way that the protagonists are all children. Characters in The Institute, including Luke Ellis, Kalisha Benson, Nikki Wilhelm, and Avery Dixon, and also every other child held captive at The Institute, all act as a larger and slightly more powerful version of the Losers Club from It. For the first half of the book, I listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by Santino Fontana. He did an excellent job. It's a brilliant audiobook. When I finally got hold of the physical book, I believe I read the rest of The Institute, so the second half, in around 3 days after I got the physical copy. I rated the novel 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. There should be a link to my Goodreads in the description below. And this was for a very specific reason. Stephen King's older work is often considered unnecessarily long, and this is because King would like to spend a lot of time on character development. Every time a new character was introduced into the story, even if they weren't necessarily relevant to the story, King would like to explain their backstory and how they got where they are today, or where they were. Whereas in King's newer work, the character development is a lot more subtle. Instead of spending dozens of pages explaining how those characters got to where they were, in King's newer work, he prefers to drop subtle hints about the characters' backstories. King does this exceptionally well in The Institute. What I like about this character development is you know a character, their personality and their intentions before you even realise it, because Stephen King is so subtle when it comes to character development in his recent works. By the way, may I just point out that the UK cover of The Institute is absolutely beautiful. I didn't really understand what the cover was, what it was depicting, until I got to the part of the book that explains this. I won't mention that because it is a spoiler, but I think that it's represented really well on this cover. So would I recommend The Institute? Yes, I absolutely would. Even if you're not a massive fan of thrillers or horrors, the character development in The Institute is some of the greatest work and writing I have ever seen King put on paper. The protagonists are very easy to connect with and the antagonists are very easy to hate. I would say The Institute is in my top 5 King novels that I have read so far, along with It and The Green Mile. The Institute would be number 5 on my list. So that is it for my review of King's latest novel, The Institute. I hope you enjoyed my first proper video, and I would massively appreciate it if you leave a like on the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below of which Stephen King book you would like me to review next. My Goodreads link should be in the description below, and I'll see you next time for another video. Bye! The Institute, oh shit, I should probably say that again, shouldn't I?